Thank you guys for checking in today. I'm Andrew Marquez, and today we're going to be talking about our new State Farm program, the Drive Safe and Save initiative that we've really been working on and trying to improve to help with our drivers. And as most of you know, we've been around since 1922, and our main goal is to do the right thing. And I feel that with this program, with this Drive Safe and Save program, we can really help and do the right thing for our customers. And so basically, the premise of what we're trying to do is install a chip inside our customers' cars, and it's all willing. They don't have it's all volunteer. They don't have to do this if they're a customer. But we basically put this chip in the car, and it tracks their speed around corners, sudden stops. It tracks just their driving habits, and it will tell us who is a good or a bad driver. With this, we're hoping that it will reduce the amount of claims that we get every year, which will in turn help us save money, but it also just encourage good drivers because they'll save money. So it'll encourage good drivers to continue driving well, and it'll encourage bad drivers who might not get as good of scores. It'll kind of encourage them to drive better in the future to hopefully save money. And with this program, we're not going to be taking money, or we're not going to be charging bad drivers extra money. They will still pay the same rate, but good drivers will be incentivized because they will save extra money by their good driving habits. I think that it'll also really help with our stereotype of risky drivers or bad drivers. With this new information that we would get, we aren't going to be relying as heavily on demographics, and we're not going to be relying as much on age, gender, like I said, demographics about a person, but it's going to be more about their actual driving abilities and their record when it comes to driving. It'll just give us a much more improved sense of information on our customers nationwide. And speaking of nationwide, we are the largest auto insurer in the U.S. We have a chance to encourage safe driving. This is what I think that we should value the most and market the most when it comes to this new Drive Safe and Save, is that since we have such a wide reach, if we can encourage multiple drivers, thousands of drivers, to install this chip, it'll encourage good driving habits on the road, which in turn will hopefully lower the amount of driving deaths and accidents, and it'll just encourage a better, safer community. I think that with these discounts, it will help people because it is also volunteer based. That is another big key. It's not something that we're going to require of all of our customers. So the people that do this service for us, we should reward them. With the good drivers who do this, they will be rewarded with up to about 50% savings. And like I said, bad drivers aren't going to pay more. They're simply just going to have to pay the same rate, but it'll track and show that they are not driving to the best of their ability, whereas if they were driving better, they could save more money. I don't really think that there's a whole lot of alternatives that we should do. I think that the best plan of action is to run a test group and look at how it improved drivers over a certain span of time, and to see if it really did affect their driving habits or not. And if we see positive results or negative results, but if we see positive results, to really market and show that installing these devices is not an invasion of privacy. We're not trying to track a person where they're going and inform them to law enforcement or anything like that. We're trying to just simply create a safer community and create safer roads. So that is, I think, the thing that we should market the most, or market heavily, is just a sense of safer driving. And a possible alternative or an idea would be to partner with a GPS type system and create maybe a State Farm GPS and we can partner with this company, and through the GPS, people will know. We're not going to do this without them knowing, but people will know that it'll have our safe driving, and it'll be for people that are insured through State Farm, but it'll have our safe driving, or our Drive Safe and Save program installed in the GPS, so they can use the GPS on their phone or in the car installed. And installed in the car will also be the Drive Safe program, which will help us track their habits as well as just let them get around and use it as a practical use. So these are just some of my ideas on it. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. But thank you for your time.